Hope I never have to use it, but something tells me I will. Never trust a tourist advertisement. Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Now get out!
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes Vanderberg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
Reaching Oakmont was no easy task. Most maps I found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why is that?
Oakmont is no ordinary place. Its unique geographical position and the flood, a recent natural disaster, make it nigh impossible to reach. But you made it, Mr. Reed. I'm sure the tides of fate would have brought you here one way or another.
That's an eye-catching suit.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. A mere flood is no excuse for one to abandon one's style.
I take it you're a big fan of yellow.
Well, I have a particular weakness for it. Call it a personal quirk.
Tell me about this flood.
It began 6 months ago. Storms raged for several weeks, and the water has risen ever higher without receding. Now the city is cut off from the mainland. I must say I rather like it, despite the inconvenience. Atmosphere, you know?
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Can you tell me a little about Mr. Throgmorton?
A remarkable creature. Scion of a robust bloodline. A philanthropist, a scholar, and the patron of the famous Oakmont University. A man of great ambitions and even greater ego. Do not make him wait.
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot, or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper. Places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular, its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
Well, that's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No. The pleasure was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who finds you.
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania? Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
You like it here, newcomer? Well, get used to it. No one leaves Oakmont nowadays.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is fine.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. that he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers, mark my words.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damned city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the shells, they are everywhere.
So they're just refugees.
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
Please forgive the question, but I've never met a man quite like you before.
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. Proud and powerful blood flows through our veins. My father united with a certain royal family, which has blessed all our offspring with these exquisite features.
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouth-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera. You have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend. Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you. I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Dane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. This fisherman supposedly brought him to the house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. We're standing right in front of it.
You mentioned a lifeboat. Is it still around?
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania? Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it? Mr. Throgmorton, I found this in the lifeboat. Looks like it's your son's will.
Give it to me. Oh, my boy, what did you get yourself into? If only I hadn't sent you on that cursed expedition.
Bye. It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, my head. What? Who are you? Are you police? I've already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis. We were here. This is our house. Barry was outside, on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... okay. My head began to burst. And he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing. Just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me...
That sounds familiar. Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. It was at or starve.
Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. Kay be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Who is this K you keep mentioning?
Outsiders show some respect.
Sorry, I didn't know. Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. Kay, have mercy on his soul.
I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, Detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or, Kay, did I kill him?
I don't know yet, Will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream.
Choo-choo. Ahem. Choo-choo. Ahem. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here. 5 cards short of a full house. Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. So, that's what an Innsmouther looks like.
Glennar, Nigri, Grena, Gebheil, Nugulina, Fatah, me fe I regach, I dagon. Burn it all. Make sure you get the adverts. We don't have time to picket. Stand back. Grab the papers. Smash the rest.
Time to figure this out.
Fatah, me fe I regach. Burn it all. Make sure you get the adverts. We don't have time to pick it. Stand. Grab the papers. Smash the rest. We don't have time to pick it. Stand back. Grab the papers. Smash the rest. Fatah, me fe. Burn it all. Make sure you get the adverts.
Several men broke into the expedition headquarters. What they didn't smash, they burned. The archives, even the newspapers. Someone smashed it beyond repair. Guess this helmet's beyond repair. Can't say I ever saw another shell like it.
The old papers are by the door. Take them and stop bothering me already.
I think you've got me confused with someone else.
Aren't you a newcomer?
Help me out here. What's the connection between newcomers and old newspapers?
It's cold sleeping in the street, and they come to collect the old newspapers for warmth.
Yeah, I guess I am a newcomer. Charles Reed, private investigator. And I also need your old newspapers, the archive, to be exact.
Ah, so you're the one who cracked the Albert Throgmorton murder case. Nice work. I'm Helen Bland. Say, can you do me a favor? Give me an exclusive interview. You won't regret it. The Oakmont Chronicle is the best newspaper for miles around.
All right, I'll be sure to make some time for you, Miss Bland. Do you still want that interview? I got some time now, if you're ready.
Oh, absolutely. We know that you're the private eye who solved the case, but tell our reader something more about yourself.
I'm a private eye in Boston. The situation in the port was a good use of my skills.
Well, Detective Reed, I think you'll find our city has a lot of secrets, but people may not like you poking your nose in. Maybe we'll have the chance to work together later. Who knows? And now the big question. Why are you here? What brought you to Oakmont?
Currently, I'm tracking down the source of the psychic phenomenon that's been causing madness and visions all across the country.
Ah, yes, it affected people here, but we were much more concerned with the flood, though Robert Throgmorton sent an expedition.
Yeah, and then hired me to find it. Ironic, don't you think?
I think that's enough for now. I can't give the readers too much all at once. Thank you for your interview, Mr. Reed.
My pleasure. Maybe I'll do something interesting enough to make the papers again. You never know. See you.
extra. All the news that's fit to print. Fresh fish. Just caught.
Budge.
Thank Kay. At last. Hey, help! Help!
What's going on?
Sea creatures swarmed over the piers. I hid here, but these walls won't stand up to them. Please help me.
What creatures? What are you talking about?
Wild beasts. They came to feast on the blood. They're eating the dead.
I'm looking for Captain Sanders. Is he here in the port? Did the creatures get him?
I saw Sanders. Help me. I'll tell you what I know.
This would be a weird artifact in any collection. Gotta be out of your head to do this to a man. Shot dead. Point blank. I've dealt with the creatures. Now, tell me about Sanders.
He got back several hours ago. Those things, they came because of him.
What happened on the Titania?
It was horrible. A damn massacre. I heard the shots. I went out. I saw the whole thing. Sailors bleeding, dying. Blood hit the water, and then, well, then the wild beasts came to feast.
This Sanders. What kind of man is he?
Newcomer. He seemed like a decent guy. Okay, Captain. Treated his crew well.
I gotta find Sanders. Where is he?
Saw him get away. Just after the shooting. Ran for the pier. Didn't see where he went after that.
Did you see anyone else from the expedition?
No. Only Sanders. I'd bet my life no one else made it back.
Gotta be out of your head to do this to a man. The monsters sure didn't leave behind much. They emptied every chamber. Still stinks of burnt powder. They were in high spirits, and plenty of them were drinking. Cape Cod. There were marks here, but they've been erased.
You can't take me! Eat this! To the mayor with you! Die! Die! No more drink. All we've seen. And you telling me we ain't allowed rum?
Let's get a handle on what actually happened here.
No more drink. All we've seen. And you telling me we ain't allowed rum? To the mayor with you! Die! You can't take me! Eat this!
For whatever reason, the crew went berserk. Only one man got away.
find something you like. Cheaper than the rest.
Patient or visitor? Hold on. Let Dr. Grant guess.
A visitor. Though you are a bit pale, you don't have a headache, do you?
My head? No complaints, I'm good.
Well, you're the exception these days. We're simply overflowing with patients.
I'm looking for a man. Just checked in. Cut up pretty bad.
I've got a trauma unit full of patients like that, sir.
Okay, this might ring a bell. My guy has a deep axe wound in his shoulder.
Sir, I really don't have time for rifling through paperwork, but you're welcome to take a look at our archives if it means that much to you.
It looks like hard work in these conditions. You need a hand?
Well, yes, actually, but it may result in close contact with the Wiles. Is that going to be a problem?
I'm prepared to face men and beasts alike. Count me in.
Ah, I can see it in your eyes. Well, I have taken it upon myself to study the wild beasts, but need more data to confirm two of my hypotheses. One concerns the multi-handed creatures, and the other the vomiting humanoids.
What have you found out about the multi-handed beasts?
One of my patients saw them in his nightmares before the flood. I can't visit him, but he must know something. Here's his address.
Those hideous wretches seem almost human. But what could turn one into such a monstrosity?
Jim Bells, a patient of mine, was admitted to hospital with symptoms resembling cholera, but he turned into one of those things. Incredible. Here's the address. Find out what happened.
Bye. happened to you, mister?
Pete. Explosion. Fishing with dynamite. Hurts talking.
Fishing with dynamite, huh? You sure it wasn't from a fight in port? Maybe on a ship?
I'm sure. Oh, please, leave.
Bye.
Oh, my stomach. I ain't never eaten leeches ever again, no sir.
Scratch me. Please, please, just here. This itching is driving me insane.
Yeesh. What happened to your shoulder?
Some psycho in a bar brawl. Gun came out, he clipped me good in the shoulder. Something I can help you with?
I'm just looking for someone. Captain Sanders.
Captain Sanders? Never heard of him. I'm Joseph Willow. You should probably look somewhere else.
Get better, Sid. Those bloodstains would definitely attract wild beasts. Seems after visiting Dr. Grant, the shop owner preferred to self-medicate. Seems after visiting Dr. Grant, the shop owner preferred to self-medicate. I don't think he's going to tell me much about those monsters. Every kid's childhood dream. I wanted a toy like that too once. The slime still looks fresh. I suspect Dr. Grant would be interested in it. Weeks have passed since this food was cooked. Weeks have passed since this food was cooked. The slime still looks fresh. I suspect Dr. Grant would be interested in it. Every kid's childhood dream. I wanted a toy like that too once. Every kid's childhood dream. I wanted a toy like that too once.
John, you... what is happening to me?
No matter how bad I feel, I have to go to work. Why can't you understand that?
Time to figure this out.
No matter how bad I feel, I have to go to work.
Liz! John, you... what is happening to me?
The beast crawled from the sunken basement at night and infected the family. After a short incubation period, they turned into monsters too.
find something you like. Cheaper than the rest.
I checked the house of the diseased man, Bells. His family has turned into those creatures too.
Huh. Fascinating. Did you discover the source of the contamination?
A creature emerged from their sunken basement and transformed them. I think its vomit is contagious.
If so, we must quarantine it. Those Lethian revenants are a huge threat. This city could not survive an epidemic like that.
What did you call them?
Lethian revenants. Oh, you may thank the university professor for the beast's unwieldy names.
I called into the shop of your patient. Unfortunately, he committed suicide.
Oh, I wish I could say I was surprised. Sorry for wasting your time.
It wasn't entirely a waste. I found some evidence that sheds light on the origin of those creatures.
For what it's worth, Professor Westerbrook calls them Stygian harvesters. But what is it you found?
Your patient's diary. His dreams became too real, too confronting. He tried to stay awake using stimulants, but those Stygians appeared near him when he slept, as if they were leaking from his nightmares.
A psychic phenomenon or manifestation. How unnerving. I'm afraid he's not the only one suffering from such dreams.
I found your studies rather interesting, Dr. Grant. Got more places to search?
What dedication. Thank you. Your findings have been a rich resource for the scientific cause. I've got 2 more places for you. More dangerous, one with huge monstrosities, but I'll prepare a comparable reward.
What about the place with more manageable creatures?
Well, there's a restaurant here with a bad reputation, not for its food, but for women disappearing. The police found nothing. I treated the partner of one missing girl. He arrived here severely injured and told me about the jumping mob.
He was at the restaurant too.
Indeed. And what's curious is the place is still open. Please investigate and find out how that's possible.
Just what am I getting myself?
One of Oakmont's largest stores was closed after the flood hit. A looter tried to break in, but his thievery was, shall we say, interrupted. He was set upon by a huge wild beast and hardly made it out. The question is, with the building locked up tight, how did that creature get in?
Bye.
You're the man who handled the problems in the port. Seemed like a sharp sleuth. Want to make something on the side?
You pay, I work. What's the job?
Ah, a fellow businessman. I'm Vincent, but you can call me Vince. First task is to find the ship's log for the Pride.
Charles Reed. A few questions, if I may.
Sure.
Why are you looking for a ship?
Maybe I'll tell you when the job is done. Right now, you don't need to.
In my line of work, you don't get far without appreciating the need for privacy. I understand. What can you tell me about the Pride? I'm gonna need somewhere to start.
Mostly rumors. The captain was an exemplary patriot. Always had a flag with him. His last shipment may have been chemicals in metal barrels.
It could be resting on the seabed 1,000 miles away. What makes you think it can be found?
I wouldn't waste my money on you unless I had hope. Local drunkards say they saw the barge on the sunken road near the fish market.
Good. I'll check the place and bring you the Pride's ship log if it's still there. See you later.